Welcome to the High Context Podcast.
Conversations about living a full spectrum life.
My name is Ace.
And I'm Darian.
And we are sitting down with folks who inspire us daily as we dive deep into a wide range of topics, from art, music, history, and science,
to culture, consciousness, and creativity.
All with a focus on the collective while tapping into the individual and our relationships and connections to each other.
We like to think global while we act local.
Get in touch by sending us an email, highcontextpodcast@gmail.com.
Or follow us on Instagram, where you can find some archived live videos of our recording sessions at High Context Podcast.
We hope you enjoy these reflections as much as we enjoyed sitting down for these dangerous yet important conversations.
We look forward to connecting with you soon.
All power to all the people. Okay.
Yeah. We're back with a side story.
Yes.
About Ace. Well, and about a lot of things.
We're just catching up.
We'll just catch up. But, how you been? How's things been since we recorded? I think that was last February, or was it late January?
I think that's a great question. Around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember being so nervous for it, and I think it probably shows. I am so grateful that we get to share ourselves with our friends and with those listening in order to better connect on so many different levels.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think I've been modeling so much more since then, and I've gained some more DJ gigs and gained some DJ equipment, that's one of those things is vinyl DJing is something that is incredibly high context.
For real. There's so much involved. And then you got a DJ on top of it.
The whole thing, the whole flablooey. So you first you get booked by the gig, and that takes knowing someone well enough to have that relationship, to have been asked to DJ that room,
Right.
I talked to 2 DJs today at my record shop gig, and one of them was I don't like DJing for venues. I'd rather DJ for events. And he's a skate DJ. Shout out to Dub Pen. He DJs for skateboarders, for kids dropping in.
Nice.
And he does it for the culture because he can't skate anymore. This is his way of keeping a consistent tempo for those kids to be able to be on their rhythm. And that was so beautiful to hear today. And then on the other side, this other gentleman was I've done the radio DJ thing. I've DJ'd live in front of people, and it's not for me. DJing in front of other people is a whole other, what our friend Brennan would say, dance floor metaphysics. It's a whole other realm of I don't want to ruin someone's night type of thing. And so I've been super, with those 2 conversations, I've been super honored to just be able to play what I want to play, and in the rooms that I'm in, the Royale, that they pretty much gave me that opportunity to start to share vinyl.
When did you start that residency?
That was October. Basically, it's my Sonic Space anniversary turned into Sonic Space at the Royale anniversary. So it was October 30th.
Okay.
2023.
Okay.
So I did it all last year. We saw the October 30th last year was so great. It was on a Wednesday, but I got to be on the exact date, which was really cool. I think it was even a full moon. It was a really
wow.
And people, some of my friends kind of dressed up a little bit for Halloween, so that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then I've also been DJing at Expat here and there when they have that patio open. Okay. So excited for warmer weather to come.
Yes.
So hopefully be DJing at Expat again. And now I have my own equipment to bring to Expat. So that's pretty exciting. Just working on getting cases now and getting a mixer that
suitable.
Yes. And I was talking with with Dub Pen, he was I have my road gear, I have the gear that stays at home for practicing and stuff. I'm like, man, to have an at-home setup.
I hope to have that too.
Yeah.
Anytime I take turntables out, I got to take that, but
sure.
One day I'll have a.
I just know it would help me to like be in the practice of practicing at home and like, and also I joked with him. I was like, well, I guess I could just like time myself, see how fast I can set it up, and like how accurately I can set it up, break it down, like a pit car, like a pit crew in NASCAR, but it's DJ equipment.
Yeah, for real. I have actually done that though, like time myself, especially with like gigs, because sometimes I get there late on accident. And I'm like, okay, how much time do I actually need to set up? Versus like when I'm relaxed, I can take my time, So that's cool that you're getting those things down and getting your whole situation together.
I was a little bit behind on Saturday for my gig, and like my MO, like I was thinking about on the way there, my MO was just like get my mixer set up. Yeah. Get my auxiliary cord going with get some music going. My background playlist. Yeah. And then get the turntable set up and start mixing. Smart. Yep. So yeah, we it happened. It was, exciting because it's just kind of like you have the relationship with the person who booked you. Sometimes that's sonic space, when I was on KDHX, and then, sometimes it's just knowing someone and like just being friendly and in the scene and sharing music and showing up for other people's gigs and stuff. And then there's the like gig date, and getting there and setting up the gear, and then you have not only the selections, but how the room responds to the selections, how the room responds to the level, for me, I'm still at the novice level of beat matching, but like when the room responds or doesn't respond to beat matching transitions. And for me, like when the room doesn't respond is one of the most magical times, because it means they didn't even notice the transition. Yeah, like that's seamless. How good the transition was. Yes. And it's just me just like excited about it myself.
I got that off. Yeah. I know that feeling.
and then it's like the, on New Year's Eve, like there was just magic in that room, and like I swear that Alex was like destroying reality. Like he was like warping it to his whim. Like it felt like time didn't exist. It felt like the vinyl was like it was a creature he was like playing with. Like wow, it was very magical. It was amazing. I really like DJ Lorenzo Heartbreaks New Year's Eve set was insane. I was really hoping we could do a Valentine's Day or like the day after, day before, day after type of gig, because he was just that good. He's just so good.
I have to check him out.
Yeah, I think he's on a very academic level.
I feel like I might have DJ'd a party with him, Tom Piney put together. It was like 4 different DJs. Oh. It's like me and like 4 other people that I didn't know. I never heard before, but they all had amazing sets.
He was also in like the blank space rooms. Like from what I understand,
that name sounds Lorenzo. What did you say?
DJ Lorenzo Heartbreak.
Yeah. I feel like I've heard that.
Nice. Yeah. So it's like for him, from what I can see, like the guy has a spreadsheet, and like I respect the spreadsheet. Okay. Like it's just when it happened on New Year's, I was like, man, I didn't know we were supposed to turn in our homework.
Yeah, right. I didn't understand the assignment.
It was like really an eye opener for like cataloging the vinyl.
Yeah.
And being able to use the vinyl like using his spreadsheet like a controller's program.
Wow.
But for vinyl.
See.
Do we need to explain that further? Like
me and my partner are planning to do that, but I'm not there yet. But I never thought about using it like that after. Like I just want to know what records I have, because I honestly do not know every single record that I have.
Yeah,
but
like
to think
the
of
tracks on
with the tracks and all that stuff. And of course I want to do the BPMs and things like that, but I never thought about it like using it to DJ later. It was more like if I want to sample this, or somebody asked me if I have a record, and it's like, well, do I? And I can look it up and be like, oh yeah, here it is. But it
can serve all those functions.
Yeah.
BPM, key, time.
Yeah.
Like how long the song is.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to start getting the catalog now. I was hesitating because it's like so many records, but We're gonna take.
No,
like
I feel
one
that.
day a
I
month.
so feel that. Like, I feel that in my soul. I told myself I'm not allowed to buy records this year
right.
because we have food at home.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
like,
it's like an addiction. I swear.
Oh, I don't have. Oh, I've been meaning. Oh, this one would really go.
But this one, I don't have this one, and this. Yeah.
So for
one
me,
day we need to go to Detroit. There's this place called People's Records, and they got everything, and it's so cheap. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
we definitely need to go. But anyway, you were gonna say something.
So like for me, I don't know that a spreadsheet is necessarily like for me immediately.
Yeah.
I think for me, what I need before that is like actually getting well, Alex recommended painter's tape. So I was originally going to do like stickers and have a code like for the stickers or whatever. But the painter's tape means like I could write on it and like put like this is the like I think I might write just BPM on it generally.
Okay.
And then the color of the painter's tape would indicate genre.
Yep.
So if there's multiple colors of tape, it would be like these two.
And it doesn't
genres.
mess up your record because it's painter's tape. Oh, that's good.
And I want to have like gold stars for the ones that are like signed.
Oh, you have signed records.
I have, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I recently decided I wanted like another sticker for covers.
Yeah.
Like records that have covers on them.
Man, you just put a new goal in my mind. I want to get the GNX record and get it signed by Kendrick Lamar. I don't have any records that are signed by any artists that made it, so I'm like thinking of the artists that I could possibly maybe see and have their record to get it signed now. I would love Stevie Wonder. Obviously, would be the pinnacle, but I don't know if he's gonna be tour or like how would I ever see him? You know, whatever.
I only got signed records because like a listener like
amazing.
Gave them to me.
Oh,
like it was like 2020.
Okay.
And more. It's kind of a high context story. Anyways,
yeah.
He was like, I really love your pitches for Drive, but I can't necessarily donate right now, but would the station want these records? And I was like, I'll look into it. And they were like, no, we don't want the records because we would get everyone's records and we just really can't handle that. And it's really not, we don't, it's just, it makes sense. It can't just be everyone's like drop off for their lost uncle's 2000 classical records.
But you can be like the museums that curate. They don't take everybody's everything, but when it's something that means something, they damn sure don't take it.
Sure, exactly. And like, but in this case, he was like, "Well, would you want them?" I'm like, "Oh, well, I would. I have like I'm kind of starting a collection and stuff." And so he gave me like a dozen records that were signed. He's like, some of them say my name on them. He was kind of just like, as long as you're not just gonna go and sell them. Yeah. Like you have
you're gonna use them.
Yeah, and I have.
Yeah, of course.
Like I've got Bjork on a Sugar Cubes.
Wow.
It's probably probably the like kind of out there. She like signed it right on the genitalia on the album art. And it's like a stick figure man kind of, but it's like right there. She made it even more.
She did that on purpose.
Yeah, and then I have like two Debbie Harry. One of them is like a single, and the other is from her band Before Blondie.
Before Blondie, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not even hip to that.
Yeah, The Wind and the Sea or something like that. The Wind and the Forest, or I don't know.
Okay. Sure. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like so 60s. It's like so 60s.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
And I think Prodigy. That one's insane because they like signed it with the like the crab, and it's like wow. And they signed it with the like graphic, like the texture of the photograph.
Ooh, cool.
And I'm trying to. I mean, the ones that I've gotten signed myself are Beth Bambara.
Nice,
You know, I have two of hers that are signed that like mean the world to me.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't gotten Natalie's I haven't had the right pen or the record in Natalie at the same time.
I know, exactly.
But I love her. I would love her to sign Split Oceans, which turned 5. I cannot believe that record's 5 now, but that's one of my favorite records, like front to back. It's something I show friends all the time. Wow. That, you know, and it's like, I guess those are like the top ones that I like listen to. I'm trying to think. There was like one more I'm like thinking of that I can't pull up, but yeah.
Put it in the notes or do another side story.
Well, I mean, it's like it's kind of like why are they? Why? Oh, you know, actually, my first signed record was Pretty Lights.
Oh yeah.
It was because Pretty Lights he's an electronic music producer, but he made a analog album. And it had been a really long time since he had come out with an album, so he would, you know, and then when he toured that album, he would like toured with a live backing band, like extension of the Preservation Hall band, I think.
Oh wow.
And so he's pressed it to vinyl, which I don't know that any of his other records made it to vinyl. Maybe they have, but he, you know, everyone who pre-ordered the vinyl got like a silver Sharpie signature on it, and everyone got different placements, and mine's right above like the album name, like or like the Pretty Lights logo. It's like poof, it's like right there. And so I think I got like the best placement. Like it's like not a rare one, but I feel like I got a nice placement for that. Yeah.
Because you could see all the art too, and you got the signature.
Yeah. So that I think that's like the first signature.
Nice.
And the most recent was Star Wolf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Going back to your DJing, I was gonna ask you, like, what is your philosophy on playing for the crowd versus playing what you want to play?
Okay, so I experienced this last year too, because I was like hired to DJ at the Tiki Bar in the Grove. Okay. And I had a controller for that and everything. Yeah. And the software though that we were using was like stuff had to be downloaded.
Oh, and on
from
the
Tidal,
machine. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
While while I was using it, basically. Mm-hmm. So if I were to receive a request, I wouldn't have been able to go and look it up and mix it in. Mm-hmm. I had to like on my phone add it to a playlist that I had synced to the program. Okay. And then like cut the music, refresh the program, and start back up again. Like that's what I would have had to do for that. Yeah. And it's like I love taking requests, but if I don't know the request you're talking about, it's like I love taking requests because I was on the radio, and that's like I'm in my like void, like I'm speaking to someone who's gonna hear it at some point, but I don't know who. I'm not seeing them react in real time. Like that was a huge difference for me. Yeah. DJing live, because it's not something I ever sought out to do as a radio DJ. So there's that. And so even when I was DJing for, you know, I feel like any method of how I'm DJing, the playlist is completely going to be different, and it's just what I have available almost. Like if I'm DJing from a thumb drive, I have like some really random stuff on a thumb drive. Yeah. I can DJ with it, but it's not going to be something that anyone's ever heard before. Like, it's really obscure. Most of it's from 2015 or earlier. Like, very strange. So there's that, and then there's like if I'm DJing from the controller, like in this Tiki Bar situation, it's like I had all the music that I've ever wanted to mix in one like Spotify playlist and stuff that I know that goes well together, and like I have these themed playlists and stuff. But it's not like I have a top 40s playlist. Yeah. Like I'm not like listening to pop music. Like I'm not hip like that all the way. You know, I've really been enjoying pop music lately, but like it took me forever to realize that some of these TikTok or Reels on Instagram songs are like made by the guy who was in Stranger Things. You know, it's like it's I'm not that DJ. I'm not that I'm not that type of DJ. I was having this conversation with the two gentlemen earlier, like at the record shop today. Like, I hope that whoever's hiring me knows that they're hiring me to be myself.
Yeah.
Like and that's in all things, but like to bring an eclectic mix, bring an entertaining mix, and I'm for the most part safe for radio airplay. I mean, like for the most part.
Not gonna have a bunch of cursing or anything.
I mean, I definitely messed up at least once in one that I really shouldn't have, but like
it happens.
Yeah, but
as long as it's not back to back to back to back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or like staying on the same song. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I think for me, I appreciate places like the Royale because, I have gone obscure in those spaces. The last time I was at the Royale, they had Primus on before me.
Wow.
I was like,
nice.
Finish off that album.
Yeah.
And I will begin with something that will match that obscurity. And I played 2 skits because this was the Monday before Valentine's Day. So I played a skit from the record called Love Stinks by the Jay Giles Band. And this skit, I love this skit. This is a skit that my dad showed me growing up. Huh. It's called No Anchovies. Okay. It's one of the most random things ever. Yeah. I love it so much. It's so just kind of like right in the middle of the album. It's a skit. Yeah. I love it. And then the next track was The Fire Is Coming because David Lynch had just passed and he is the spoken word on that Flying Lotus track. Oh. So then the drums kind of like the beat comes in towards the end of that track and I went back to the Jay Giles record. I think I flipped it over or changed where the needle was. I did something while that was going on and went into Love Stinks by like the Jay Giles Band. So I have posted that whole playlist on my Spotify Facebook page.
Nice.
But that was like I was like, y'all are gonna be obscure, I'm gonna start obscure. Like I felt
match the energy.
Yeah. And I really I'm really honored to be a part of the Royale because it does feel like while it's not being like Monday mornings on KDHX like 4 Sonic Space, it feels like a new evolution of that, if that was the basic starter Pokemon, this is where in the middle part of it,
Mewtwo up in this piece.
yeah, exactly. Or like let's see, what Pokemon?
What Pokemon?
Or like, there's Vulpix and then there's Ninetales and then there's Mega Ninetales. So I don't know.
Do you feel like the crowd went with you on the journey? At Royale?
It was like a lighter attended night, I would say, and I do think they did. I kind of checked in with the bartenders after. I know that bartenders always like I'm playing for the bartender.
They're paying attention. Yeah.
I'm playing for the bartender. I want the bartender to come pick a record if they want. That's the closest thing to requests that I can really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, what about you? What how does it feel like for you to evolve your mixing to what the crowd is doing, since you're a phenom at Handlebar among other places?
Thank you. I think it depends on the venue. It really depends on the venue. In some places, like a Handlebar, I'm more playing to the crowd than I'm playing for myself. It's probably more like 70-30. But like I DJ'd a fundraiser for, I can't remember what the name of the nonprofit is now, but it was a nonprofit in the arts, right? And most of the artists that they supported were very experimental. And it was at the Luminary on Cherokee Street.
Very cool.
If you ever go into St. Louis, check out the Luminary. So I was like, it was super obscure. I don't think I played any pop music whatsoever. I played like, I mean, people know who Hiatus Coyote is, but I played like a lot of that. And I played Little Dragon. And I was like playing some like indie rock that I had in the playlist, and just like all over the place. And I think people really enjoyed the set because people were coming up and asking me like, "Yo, what was that song you just played?"
Oh, love
or whatever.
that.
So like,
Oh, that's the best feeling.
it's the best, especially
Yeah.
when I'm playing stuff that's not popular, right?
Or
and
stuff
it's
that's
like,
local.
yeah, local.
My favorite
oh,
is when it's local. I'm like,
you're like, you know, this person lives
let me
in
tell
the
you
city.
what, they're playing in a week
Yeah,
down the street.
right. I love that. So like, it depends on the venue. I love places where I can be like that. And like Takashima Record Bar used to be like, it was just a listening room. So I play what I want, and people can't. I guess they could technically come up to me and make a request, but there was a sign up there that says please no requests or whatever. So I thoroughly enjoy that. But I had fun at Handlebar. You know, I learned about new popular music that way, to be honest, because the stuff that people request, and I'm like, what is that? And then I look it up, and then I kind of listen, like preview, and I'm like, oh, okay,
you're hearing
cool.
how they can see how it
yeah,
fits in
exactly. So, you know, I think I prefer the ones where it's like the luminary.
I have been that person.
But yeah, for sure.
I don't remember what the guy was playing, but I was at Up Down, and I was like, probably a little crossfaded. And I was like, you know, this song would go really well with Gazelfelstein and The Weeknd.
Nice.
With the like, I always forget the name of the song, but it's like, it was a pop hit. It was like, see, I don't want to get copyright infringement.
Oh yeah, right.
So
yeah, let's not.
We shouldn't go any further. And then, you know, the phrase I just hummed is a little graphic. So I'm going to keep it to myself.
If you know, you know.
If you know, yeah. If you know what's in my head, you know.
So yeah, it's all over the place. But, you know, I think I prefer more like where you're at with the Royale and can play that obscure thing and like, just because I want to go along with this theme and like I'm going along with what's in my head versus like trying to figure out what's happening in the crowd.
Yeah, and I'm also still like pushing myself when it comes to beat matching. Like I'm not really thinking about that with my selections. I'm more thinking about that with like themes and like, you know, really going from the disc jockey on the radio to beat matching. It's just like, I'm like just beat matching on top of what I was doing before, I guess.
That's a lot.
It is, and it's like it's not always compatible, and that's where like the like putting the painter's tape and everything is really gonna help. I think me being able to do that more because I am such a visual learner.
Yeah, when you see it, it'll start to lock in.
Yeah, and I'm definitely into like pushing myself. Like a lot of DJing in the past year has really been trial by fire. Like that's exactly what it feels like, and like I don't feel like I always learn best that way.
Yeah.
So it has been a learning curve. So I'm super grateful to the Royale for being able to practice beat matching, for being able to like and get feedback from, you know, the folks running the bar. You know, my set in January, like people I look up to came, and like nice. I knew my friend who's a DJ, she was coming, and I was like, I want to make sure it's right, you know, and so I lit more of a fire under me than if she wasn't coming.
Yeah.
And the bartenders noticed, you know,
nice. You put in the work.
They're the control.
Notice.
They're like the listener who's tuning in every week.
Yeah, like, right. The litmus test. Yeah.
And so it's just been really exciting, and I still want to do like more like
good
learning from like you and Mark Lewis and Jelani, and just like I also this year I'm really excited because I have my setup, you know. I have like for the most part, let's say 70% of the setup is acquired. Because I would say part of that 30% would be a PA that we're you know incrementally increasing at a time, you know. Got a majority of it going. So part of what I really want to do at Jelani, what I really want to do, I want to do this with all of my DJ friends, and I want it to look absolutely different every single time. But it's called Asymmetry with Ace featuring
Asymmetry, DJ Wiz.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like Asymmetry with Ace. So Asymmetry can be spelled normal. Featuring Ace, because I was like, how would we do this? I don't want it. I just want to be able to. There's
something there, Asymmetry, but
Asymmetry with Ace featuring blank.
Yeah.
Like, and so I want it to be a true back-to-back set. Like true one of us got one table, one of us got the other,
nice.
or we're flipping around, you know, maybe every other
I
song
saw
or every two
somebody
songs.
doing that recently, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
There's a lot of body coordination happening there.
Yeah, and like, even if it ends up being like, maybe, you know, 2 CDJs and 2 turntables, like whatever it needs to be or whatever, but you know, I want it to look different every single time. So it's really for me, when I first started seeing people DJ just like on a Wednesday night, like this was in Tallahassee, I want to say like 2012.
Okay.
And I would go to the Warehouse in Tallahassee, which was this billiards hall.
Okay.
And all wood.
Yeah, paint the picture.
All wood. It wasn't a warehouse, but it was like, it was kind of long. It was made all wood paneled stuff. How many
tables, like billiards?
Oh man, I mean like probably like at least 8.
Wow. Okay.
And like a really old bar with a really small TV where they were always watching sports. Like just very, very kind of like a little rural, a little southern.
Sticky floors. How were the floors? Carpeted wood.
Don't think I really had an issue with the stickiness.
Okay.
But it was so funny. This is one of the only places that I would, you know, was just talking to someone would come up, talk to me, and probably like a regular of the Warehouse. And you know, he kind of smelled like cigarettes. He kind of seemed a little drunk, like, and he handed me just some weed to put in my pocket, like it was like as I was on my way to the bathroom, like.
All right.
But anyway, in the back room of the Warehouse was this event space, and it had like a sound booth and like almost like a little treehouse. So the event was called Open House Conspiracy. Okay. And that was the activation of that space on like Wednesday nights. And so eventually, because like it was it was like there was a door fee or whatever, and I was just a college student. Like I was like, at some point I was sometimes the only person on the dance floor, and so it taught me how to dance to electronic music. I really did not know how to dance before that point. I kind of like put myself in it again, trial by fire. Yeah. But one of the eventually I asked them, I was like, can I just be your door person? Like, I'm not asking for any cash or anything, but like if I don't have to pay to listen, then like that's enough for me, sort of thing. It was really funny. I met some really funny people that way, because like there was these 2 guys who like tried to get by without paying, and I was like, can you just spare a few bucks like between the 2 of you? And they did, but then I ended up like we still keep in touch and stuff. It's really funny. I ended up going to one of my favorite festival experiences because like they were like, oh, you should come, like sort of thing. So, Bleak and Coy were a back-to-back group. Okay. And they are really who I first saw doing DJing. That I like they caught my ear because it was either an XX track or it was Jamie XX. I think it must have been Jamie XX because I was like, this is XX. He was like, oh, it's Jamie XX. I was like, so to me that was. That's how I like started cluing into like this type of electronic music, and also the very first iterations of people DJing were back to back.
Yeah. Okay. Like the first time you saw it live. Yeah.
First time I was like wrapping my head around it. Yeah. Like overall, and so to me this really reminds me of my friend Austin Vanderblake of Bleak and Coy, and so he's really lifting the Tampa scene up. As much as he can. So shout out to Austin. And, you know, I want to do it with you. I want to do it with Jelani. I want to do it with David Kirkland. Like, David Kirkland especially, I want us to do, like, all colored vinyl. And, like, have it at turn and have it, like, lit up. Yeah. Like, I want us, like, being able to stream it so that people can see the color of what's going on and stuff. Yeah. And like lights, camera, action on that one. So it's like I know I'm building up to that. Yeah. Like I want to do a true back-to-back set with Alex. I want like we've done some back-to-back before. And it does take coordination. It does take planning ahead of time, but I think this is a way that I can bring people I miss to St. Louis. In terms of like I miss my friend Mark Starr. It's not like I'm on the caliber of Mark Starr, but like grateful for him because him playing at Upstairs Lounge was my introduction to Upstairs Lounge.
Wow,
like,
man. Rest in peace, Upstairs Lounge.
Rest in peace, yeah. So I'm very excited for this journey. I'm very excited for Asymmetry. I haven't really like publicly talked about it all that much. I don't have a logo for it yet or anything, but like
it's in development.
It's in development. Okay. It's deep. It's in here. Like I can see it. Yeah. Like I can and like, you know, colored vinyl might be the only thing I'm buying this year, maybe.
Oh yeah, that'll help you limit it.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
If you buy everything,
the right
like
price of colored vinyl.
Yeah,
like we're not talking
that.
$45 records.
Yeah.
If we're talking $45 records, they better be pretty meaty double LPs.
Yeah.
I know I was gonna flub something else.
That's okay.
Pretty meaty double LP.
So we talked a lot about DJing. What other things have been evolving for you over the last year?
Well, I've been modeling a lot, and I recently started a marketing role at Old Rock House.
Nice,
and I'm very grateful for that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm grateful to have, like, it's not necessarily your normal Monday through Friday 9 to 5 quite yet.
Yeah.
But it will be.
What are your hours for that? Is it like a day job or you on weekends or like?
It is a day job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a day job.
Okay, good.
It's been a year and a half, but I have a day job.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm very, very grateful because I'm working with people who like see me.
Yeah.
And want to grow with me. And so it's like feels like the right amount of hand holding. It doesn't feel like trial by fire.
Yeah.
And that is a huge deal to me. Yeah. Huge deal.
A lot of places don't have good training methods. Like, you know what I mean?
Sure. And I'm not necessarily going,
like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay, this is how to do this.
You got hired because you said you knew how to do this.
Yeah.
You said you could do this. I said I could do this.
Yeah, I said I
could
do this.
I know how.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't know how you want me to do it.
I just expect you to do it, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't go onboarding while you interviewed me.
Yeah.
But yeah, with working with John at Old Rock House, it's been really great because he's the talent buyer, but over the past year he's had to do the marketing as well, or be maybe being really at the front end of all the marketing stuff. Mm-hmm. And so week by week he's been taking tasks off of his list and putting it onto mine. Yeah. And I see him doing it in a way that's he's doing it kind of like task by task so that he has the capacity for me to ask questions. So I am super grateful and super stoked about that because, and he's, you know, I don't know his age, but he's probably not more than 10 years older than me. Mm-hmm. So it's like we're on a similar level. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just really excited that this is happening, you know. Yeah. And then with modeling, it's been incredible to work with so many different types of artists at so many different levels of their own practice. I've recently started hosting a figure drawing class. Not class. I've recently been hosting a figure drawing session on Fridays at Drawn, which is in Maplewood, Drawn Studio in Maplewood. Nice. And that's like midday on Fridays, and it's been really cool because it's my first time hosting. Yeah. So it's managing the studio in those hours. Okay. Like keeping my own time.
Promoting the event.
My own marketing for it, exactly. Mm-hmm. And then also like making playlists for it and like keeping people engaged in that way, and that's been very exciting. Yeah. Because some folks here and there have heard me on the radio that I model for. Mm-hmm. Some of them have seen me live. Certainly not everyone. It's a very small percentage, but I'm very grateful for those who have. Yeah. And it's just been really cool to also work with artists, like I said, of different calibers, of people from all over. Like, within the past couple of months, I've worked with someone from Canada. Wow. And that is through Shane, who really made his name in Paris. And it's so funny, too, because Shane will write down things that he hears and like little anecdote tidbits or phrases. And then like he'll name the piece after one of those tidbits or whatever. Wow. And it's like Oh, like I am being my full self in those moments. I am like telling anecdotes I'm excited about, or that like, oh, I had this really great time, I want to tell you about it. And then the little like pieces will like go into the piece.
Wow,
like
that's cool.
like recently I was telling him about going to Chicago and seeing Trent Muller, which was like astounding.
Yeah,
it was fantastic. The concert hasn't left my mind. Like, and then I was telling Shane about everything that was going on, because I was like sharing the music with him too, and he put the name of the piece that he was working on was specifically tied to my anecdote, which was the band Trent Muller had a 5-piece, and no one was the front man.
Oh.
And usually I've had moments where if I'm close to the front, I make eye contact with the musician and stuff. I had never had it happen with a drummer before, though. And so Shane named it Drummer Eye Contact, like, because of that experience. And it was very interesting because
recounting the story, and he put that in there.
Yeah, and put the music in the post too, you know, like, and then Trent Muller followed my model page.
Wow.
Today.
Oh wow! Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So
Full circle moment.
It's been super full circle. It's been very exciting. Yeah. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how can I make it work out so that I can sell out Old Rock House for Trent Muller to play? Like, how can we? Who's gonna open for him? Like, how can we make this happen? Not just but for those vibrations to like be shared with everyone. Like, because that's how much I love his music.
I'm gonna check him out.
This is like very dark electronic. I was listening to a Kira album today called The Faith. I listened to it like 4 times because of how much I can tell Trent Muller's inspired by it. Like, pulls inspiration and homage to it. Very like 1-to-1. It's very much that, like, very much like The Cure. So I hope you enjoy it.
I like The Cure. So okay.
Nice.
Sweet.
I'm like even trying to think, like, it would be so cool if someone like a Vince Staples or it's not as funky as an MF Doom, but like I would love someone to like freestyle over it. I don't even know what that would be like. Or maybe it's more of like a spoken word something over it. You know, if I'm really like seeing like, can this even how far can we push it? Yeah. Like,
in experimental, and just genre bending and mixing and blending. I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to this year coming up?
Ooh, it's a 9-year. So we're like at this like culmination point, at this like the spirit of the hermit, the spirit of the mystic, and like basically, like, to me, it's this culmination is like, this is the reward year. This is the year of cake. This is the year of dessert. Like
the harvest.
Yes. The celebration. And the world has just felt like really abysmal this year so far. Yet I don't necessarily like feel it in my like day to day at the same time, which feels like detachment. It feels a little bit like avoidance of, if I don't face the thing I can't control, does it really control me?
Partially, you know, if you're not giving it power, it has no power over you. Right?
That's part of it, I think. So that's what I'm looking forward to this year, is going to Detroit for the first time for Movement.
Yeah.
So
when you go, I'll give you the address for People's Records.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or you're coming with.
Yeah, or I'll come with. Yeah, who knows?
And so that's for Movement, and I've never been to that festival before, but Jamie XX is headlining, which is, I was already confirmed on the ticket like before the lineup dropped. Yeah. So that was kismet. That was very amazing. And then Electric Forest.
Nice.
Justice is headlining. Okay. And both Krungbin and Balthus are on the lineup.
Wow.
Those 2 festivals. I don't know how I'm going to make it happen. Yeah. We are going to make it happen. Because it can't not happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Road trip it, bootstrap it, whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's been a little bit out of my budget, but that doesn't mean that's always going to be the case.
That's true. Plus, you got a new job. You know, things could work out where you're able to.
Yeah. Being
better.
grateful for the abundance, right?
Yeah.
Like to bring more abundance, to continue to be grateful for it.
Yeah, mentality of gratefulness.
And welcoming, like, opportunity.
Yeah. Being open.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think what else is coming up in this year. I'm so excited to get all these episodes out.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's...
Dropping your episode, and we're going to continue dropping episodes from there on out. I'm excited to see what people think of these conversations. And when you hear this, please follow up with us. We don't want to just be talking into a void. So
yeah. Please reach out on at High Context Podcast on Instagram. That's a pretty direct line to us. Otherwise, you can send us an email, highcontextpodcast@gmail.com. And we are really excited to also get back into side stories with other folks other than just us. So if you have a topic you want to talk about or a topic you recommend us talking about, like, we're all ears. And super excited to share these episodes with you because as we've stated, we feel that they're really important yet dangerous conversations. And I hope you get to share it with someone, just because this is meant to be shared. Like we hope to help you think a little bit. It always gets me reeling the amount of topics we cover and the thread we find through all the topics. Blows my mind too.
It's always something that ties it all together.
Yeah. So I'm so honored to be here with you, Darian. Thank you to Jelani for being our producer.
For real.
Thank you.
Shout out to Backbeat.
Shout out to Backbeat, man. Like the producer of a lifetime.
For real.
This man has got the magic, Like
the magic. Yes.
Isn't it super cool to see the editing that's going down in his world? So and we're definitely excited with sharing more with you in the future. So
look forward to more episodes, more side stories, and stay in touch like we said, and we look forward to hearing from you in the future.
All power
to all the people.
Stay stellar, y'all.